We tried bonsaiing peppers and tomatoes. Should you? So this year we had an abundance of tomato starts and pepper starts, so I decided to try bonsaiing a couple of them, and I want to talk to you about my results. We are going to start here with tomatoes. These are the Evil Olive cherry tomato. These are planted from seed at the same time, started at the same time, in pots in roughly the same time period. And you can just see what you get when you do something bonsai like this. The size of your container matters a lot. And we also a comparison too of some other tomatoes in the pot and in the ground. So size matters when it comes to tomatoes, and that really comes into play with these bonsais, because if you don't have quite enough root capacity down here, you just don't get as full of a plant. So it was kind of a scrawny little small pot plant. Looking little cherry tomatoes. They, you know, they're. I might just try one here for you. They look tough as hell. Oh, real tart and real tough. All right, I just got to get the taste out of my mouth with that one. Whoa. Okay. So much different. That was actually sweet. Still pretty tough. These Evil Olive tomatoes are real firm meated. So in this case, with this bonsai tomato, I got a little bit of fruit, not a whole lot of vegetation. Now this is not how it looked recently. I was setting up for this video and a tomato hornworm came in and went to town on this thing. It was like munching like with a frenzy. So it actually had some leaves up here, but it wasn't very impressive. This one, on the other hand, is pretty decent. We got a couple nice sets of of tomatoes. Not really a super prolific tomato, especially in this pot situation, but let's go see how the pepper did in the bonsai scenario. All right, so here is the mystery Uncle Tom pepper bonsai project. And as you can see, it's a pretty cute little plant. It really is. You got a little pepper over here. Yeah, it's really quite cute. It's been on the picnic table for a while. You might have seen it in some other videos, perhaps. And this is the one that's in the ground. I mean, you can just tell. There's no comparison. This thing's got tons of peppers on it, and this just has a couple of scrawny ones. So even though compared to the tomato, I used a bigger pot, a little more root volume. So you just got to get some size in there. You need some roots to support the growth of the plant, and you don't really get. I had this perception that I was going to get this nice looking plant, and a tiny little plant with like 3 big tomatoes hanging off it. You just don't have the plant in the scenario to really support like any sort of big fruit. Still was fun to do. So why might these plants be different? Because of their container size. The container size is one thing, but why? Why is that container size affecting the plant? And Sarah's going to go through some of those things right now.
I'm here to confirm what you might already know, and that is size matters. Now, what is this garden lady talking about? I'm going to tell you. Root volume, okay? Oftentimes, when we're thinking about plants, we're only thinking about the above ground portion. There's a whole world that's happening down here underneath the soil surface. And this biomass that is put on by the roots is critical to supporting the above ground portions of the plant. In the ground, you will always have larger plants. Herbs do quite nicely inside potted plants, but for your larger vegetables, in the ground or up in a raised bed is really best, because you can have that root mass. You actually have better thermoregulation in the ground as well. This sun is ablazing. In the pots, a couple of things. Just remember, your soil volume is going to be less, your soil temperatures will be higher, and your potted soils also tend to be drier. Type of pot. When you are planted in a terracotta pot, the water that was placed in the pot actually goes into the terracotta itself. It may not be as readily available as glazed pot. The more you know, the more you'll want to grow. Let's grow.